Hi. Hey, welcome to my live webinar. New year, new start 2017. This is Priscilla Williams here with you. I am also broadcasting live from Facebook from my private group, as well as those who have joined me for my live webinar. Hope everyone is having a great day. We are going to have some good info tonight. Again, I am Priscilla Williams. I am your Royal Life Catalyst, registered nurse, certified overflow coach, speaker, author, and I love to empower women. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. I hope everyone is, in this weather is kind of a little funny, right? But I hope everyone is having an amazing day. I hope everyone has had a great start to their new year, and that you are ready to move to the next level in your life, move to the next level in what God has created for you, and that you are ready to walk into your God-given assignment. And so tonight we're talking about, with it being a new year, having a new start, and what does it really take to move into that assignment that God has for you. I see Caprice join me. Hey, Caprice. Hope you are having a great day. So I am again broadcasting live from Google Hangout on YouTube, as well as my private Facebook group in the Rock Your Royal Life group. There were a total of about 70 individuals that signed up for the webinar. And so hopefully, if those 70 individuals show up tonight, that's great. If not, we're going to keep it moving, and everything is going to be great stuff. So if you actually are in the private group, you can go ahead and log in as well on YouTube, and you can join the chat, or you can watch it right here from the private group. So tonight, we're going to go ahead and get started. I know a lot of people are just getting home from work and things like that. So I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I definitely want to go ahead and get started with the webinar. And there are a few things we're going to talk about tonight. So one of the things we're going to talk about in this webinar is learning why it's important to change the way you think in 2017, and how we can begin to change our mindset and our thinking. The next thing that we're going to talk about, or we're going to, when you walk away from this webinar tonight, you are going to learn why it's important to move forward into the assignment that God has for you, and not wait until you think it's the right time, right? So I'm going to share proven action steps and strategies to help you move forward and to help you begin to walk in your assignment. And then I'm also going to give you a free gift, my free copy of my New Year, New Start blueprint. And so this is just a blueprint to kind of help you get jump started with the new year, and kind of help you begin to put some things in perspective in place, and to help you begin to move to the next level for 2017. And then lastly, you'll get a chance to ask me any question that you want, questions and answers. And so I'll do my best to answer those questions. Many people know that I share my story, my life. It's pretty much an open book, and I share where it is I've been, the things that I've incurred in my life, things, challenges I went through, and how I learned from those things, right? So tonight we're going to just have a good conversation. So go ahead, make sure you have a pen and a pad, make sure that you are ready to learn with me, and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so tonight again, we're talking about 2017, new year, new start, moving into that God-given ordained assignment. But before we can walk in that assignment, one thing that I want to share with you guys is that you have to begin to change the way you think. You have to begin to look at your life differently. You can't go into a new year, a new chapter in your life with the same thinking. We have to begin to change our thoughts. We have to begin to change our actions. And so it all starts with the mind. And I know Caprice was just on, hopefully she's still on. She talks a lot about, when you get ready to lose weight, it all starts here. Once it starts here in your mind, then everything else will begin to fall in line, right? Because if you aren't physically and mentally prepared to lose weight, then of course you're not going to lose it. Hey, Lakeisha, thanks for joining. And so we have to begin to know that it all starts in our mind. And so, what are we doing to change our mindset? What are we doing to look at things in a different set of lenses? How are we begin to see and recognize our perspectives in life? And so, I just turned, yes, change your mind and you change your body. That's right, Caprice. And so, I know that so many of us want to go into some new things in our life for 2017. I know I do. I know friends and family do. But are we really ready to receive what it is that God has for us? And so, how do we know that we are ready? And we have to begin to just look at things differently in our life. I just turned 38 this past Saturday. And so I'm grateful to be 38 years old. And my birthday, I also celebrated my 11-year wedding anniversary, and my husband, his birthday as well. And a lot of people that know me know that we celebrate the same birthday and anniversary. And our birthday and anniversary wasn't celebrated the way we would normally celebrate it, right? Some things happened. It was just, it threw us for a curve, right? But I am so grateful and so thankful to be able to say that my family is well, alive, and living, that I'm alive and living. I live to see 38 years old, that my son is alive and living. He's 17 years old. My husband is alive and living. My family, my mom is still here, my brothers. And so I began to look at things differently. Sometimes we look at, I have to do this and I have to do that, and I have to have this certain money by the time I reach this certain age, and all of these good things. And that's great. But the older I get, I realize the value of life. I realize that how life is so short and things can change in the drop of a hat. You can wake up one day and have a great day, and by the end of the day, your whole world could have shifted. You receive some bad news, or you receive some things that happen in your life that you didn't plan. Life throws you a curveball. And so when you go through things in life, when you experience life, right? When you experience those roadblocks, those barriers, those upsets, those hiccups, you begin to realize, you know what? It's all about my family. It's all about my health. It's all about my strength. It's all about being happy. It's all about walking in my God-given assignment. It's all about, hey, Margie, how you doing in ATL? It's all about that God has equipped me to do, right? And so I began to look at things so much differently, because life can shift. You see one person 1 minute and you look around and that person's gone. Or you're talking on the phone to a person 1 second and the next minute you're like, man, what happened? Something drastic happened. Or 1 minute you're well and the next minute people are sick. So we just have to begin to shift our mindset. And as Caprice just stated, that once you change your mind, you change your body. Once you change your mind, you change your situation. Once you change your mind, you begin to shift everything around you. So let's begin to look at how are we viewing things in 2017. You cannot view things in 2017 the same way you've been viewing them in 2016. If it didn't work in 2016, why do you expect it to work in 2017? The reality is we have to change our mind. We have to shift our mind. We have to begin to look at things differently. We have to put on a different set of spectacles and begin to see things for what they really are. I have a good girlfriend that says, let the main thing be the main thing. And so that main thing is walking in your divine assignment. That main thing is going after it is that God has set before you, to run that race and to run it proudly and to run it with zeal and keep running even when you're getting tired. To cherish your family and your friends, and to spend time with people and cherish those things that really matter. It's not about the money or the access or the title or the position or what we have in our bank account. But what it's really about, again, let the main thing be the main thing. And the main thing is our life, our strength, our family, our friends, the things that really matter, going after the things of God, the things that He's put in our path. That's what really matters. And when we begin to shift our mindset toward that and know that what really matters in our life, sometimes we overlook it. Sometimes we take it for granted. But in 2017, begin to shift that mindset. Begin to shift the way you think. Begin to look at things new. Begin to see things for what they really are. Begin to see people for who they really are and not who you think they should be. And to shift our mindset. Now, how do we do that? The very first thing that we can do to begin to shift our mindset is to begin to practice. It's all about practicing the shift, practicing the mindset renewal. Begin to practice how you're going to view things. So when I wake up in the morning, and I say, I pray and I say, Lord God, let me have a good day. And, today I'm going to help change somebody's life. And, somebody's going to help change my life today. Somebody going to give me something today, a good word, or somebody, I'm going to be inspired today. I'm going to be assigned to somebody today to uplift them. And so when I begin to speak those things over my life, it may not always happen every time I speak it, but it's all about practicing practicing to change your mindset, practicing to look at things differently. And so when things begin to go bad, that immediate reaction is, oh my God, did this just happen? Lord, what am I going to do? Things happen. I just said life happens. Life happens, right? But begin to practice. Okay, let me get myself together. Let me begin to look at this thing differently. Let me begin to see this thing differently. Let me begin to look at this a little bit differently than I have been. Because you know what? This was a bad situation that I was just in. But you know what? It could have been worse. So begin to practice that shift. You know what? This threw me off. This really threw me off. Which way to turn? But you know what? I could be dead. So let me begin to get myself back in focus and begin to operate in a state of gratitude and look at this thing a little bit differently. Right? So let's begin to practice. We have to practice that mindset shift. It is not an overnight thing. Our mindsets will not shift overnight. We won't wake up. Hey, Lakeisha, we won't wake up in the middle of the day and just all of a sudden and say, yes, I'm on fire. Yes, I see everything just beautiful. No, we know that life can sometimes knock us off our feet. We know that. As long as we're living, we're breathing, we're on this earth, life is going to knock the wind out of you sometimes. But as we begin to get stronger and practice that mindset shift and practice the way we look at things and practice the way we view it, we will begin to get stronger and things won't upset us as quickly. I remember always wearing my feelings on my shoulders and always, getting so offended so easily. But why was I getting offended so easily? When I began to look at, okay, what's really going on? Why do I always think that this person meant something when they may have just been giving me constructive criticism and I automatically ran with it and got an attitude and started twisting my lips and rolling my eyes? But when I began to shift my mindset and begin to practice that thing, it's like, okay, begin to look at this thing differently. Begin to see that maybe this is just constructive criticism. Maybe you can learn from that. Maybe that hiccup that I went through, that process that I went through was going to make me stronger. I was going to come out a better person. But of course, when you are new to this, and again, when you in your feelings, you don't see none of that. You're looking at what in the heck is going on. I don't know how to handle this. But when you begin to practice, shifting your mindset. The next thing I would say to help you shift your mindset is it's all about what you feed into your mind. What are you feeding into your mind? What are you listening to? What are you watching on TV? Who are you communicating with? Who are you having a conversation with? Who are you spending most of your time with? Who's in your circle? That helps us to begin to shift our mindset. When we begin to be careful and strategic about what it is that we view, what conversations that we will allow ourselves to be a part of, that will help us shift our mindset. If you are in a midst or a circle of people who are always negative, every time you talk to them, it's always, oh my God, it's draining by the time you get off the phone with them. Or you're like, Lord, have mercy. I love her, but Lord, when I get off the phone with her, I'm so drained. I got to get my whole life together. That's when you can't shift your mindset in that way. So you have to begin to be very careful what you feed into your mind. What books are you reading? Are you reading things that's going to stimulate your mind? Are you listening to things that's going to help you to see things differently? Are you taking over your mind with the right positive affirmations? Are you what are you doing to increase the mindset shift? And so we have to be very, very careful about what we allow to enter our mind, what we allow to meditate on, what is it that we have in our midst all day. If all we listening to is drama and the basketball wives and all of that stuff, that is all that's going to be in our inner man. It's drama. Some people live for drama, right? Some people live for a fight. Some people live for, I'm going to tell her a thing or two about a thing or two. Begin to shift who you're around, what you're reading, what you're watching, who you're conversating with. What are you digesting on? Because when you are digesting on the right things and you're meditating on the right things and you're feeding the right things into your spirit, man, you are going to have a mindset shift. You're going to have, your mind is going to shift if you are putting the right things in it. It's just like whatever you put in you is what comes out of you. You are only as good as what what you feed on. What you feed on. It's like you're studying for a test. I've studied for some tests when I was in nursing school, and I would read those books, and I would study so hard sometimes it's like, whoa, it's like I'm going to sleep thinking about the stuff. I'm thinking about the medications and how to do this and that because I studied so dang on hard. All I could think about was that in my sleep. I remember when I first started giving chemotherapy, I would be so involved with learning all these medications and these drugs and how to program everything to go in with the patient. And I would be so involved, heavily involved in the chemotherapy world that I would come home and go to sleep. And I'm up here dreaming about chemotherapy, dreaming about the IV pump going off in my sleep. And so I would talk to, what you say, Lakeisha? I would talk to other nurses, and I'm like, am I going crazy? And I had other nurses say, yeah, you know what? That always happens to me. Like I'll go home thinking of the IV pole beeping in my dreams, and I had one dream that I was hooked up to chemotherapy and all kind of crazy stuff. But you know why? Because I was so heavily sedated that part of my life. Like I was so heavily sedated with those medications and that and those patients and coming home and thinking about the people. And before I knew it, I'm sitting up here dreaming about it in my sleep and tossing and turning and seeing chemotherapy hanging. Now, you might think I'm crazy, but the reality is I know y'all could tell me. I know some of y'all could tell me that you thought about something so much and got heavily sedated in something, and you go to sleep and you thinking about that thing. It's the truth. It is the truth. Lakeisha, you said I just spoke about this in my live talk Sunday evening. Oh, I got to go back and listen to it. Okay. So think about this. Be careful what you feed into your mind, who you are in the midst of, who are you in relationship with, what you allowing yourself to view on TV, what you allowing yourself to listen to on the radio, all that stuff. It all really matters. It all really matters. And this is how we begin to shift our mindset. So for those of you that have just joined, this is my live webinar, New Year, New Start 2017, living the life you were created to live, walking in your assignment, right? Tonight we're talking about walking in your divine assignment. We're just on creating that mind shift, because we talked about at the beginning that it has to start here in order for it to manifest in your life. So once it starts in the mind, then you'll begin to create that shift. So does anybody have any questions about mindset shift? Any comments? Anything that you want to share? This is a webinar, so I want you to talk back to me. Total of 70 people signed up for the webinar. I don't know how many people are on Google Hangout listening. I am still trying to figure the Google Hangout thing, but I know 70 people registered. So if all 70 are here, that's great. I don't know, but hey, we're going to keep it moving. Okay, so the next thing that we want to go into, anybody have any questions, just go ahead and type it in the chat. If you're on YouTube, go ahead and type it on Google Hangout, go ahead and type in the chat box. Okay, so the next thing that we want to talk about is, you know, your mindset has to shift, because what you think in your mind is what you create, right? You know, when you begin to think negative, that's what you attract negative. But when you think positive, you will attract positive. It's all about what you think is what you create. So once you think it, then you'll create it, then you'll attract it, then it will manifest. I'm going to say that again. Once you think it, you will attract it, then you will create it, and then you will manifest it. Oh man, I felt that thing. I'm getting excited. I'm going to say it one more time. I hope you're taking notes. When you begin to shift your mindset about what you're thinking, you will begin to attract that thing. So if you begin to say, man, you know what? I want to grow in my career. I'm ready to go back to school. Isn't it mighty funny that you begin to see all the things on TV about start school now, 25% discount. Come over here, free registration. Everywhere you look, you see something about going back to school. You begin to attract that thing. Wow, you know what? I want to begin to speak more, or I want to write a book. After you say that, you begin to meet people that's authors, and you go somewhere and somebody say, yeah, I just wrote a book, or I teach people how to write books. And you're like, I just said I want to write a book. You begin to attract that thing, right? So once you think it, you begin to attract it, then you begin to create it. Because after you attract that thing, the next thing is creation. You can't attract it and just do nothing with it. You got to attract it, then you got to move that thing forward. You got to begin to do some work. Faith without works is dead, right? So once you attract it, now you got to begin to create it. So you said you want to write a book. You run into somebody at the bank and y'all have a conversation while you in line. And they tell you, girl, yeah, I just got done writing a book. I'm teaching other authors how to write books. And then the next thing you know, you exchange information. You might contact her, you might not. But then that thing began to ticking in your head. And so you know you got to create this thing. If she did it, I could do it. So then you begin to create it. And then once you begin to create it, it began to manifest in the earthly realm, right? It is power in what you think. When you think negative, you are going to attract negative into your life. And it also goes into what you speak, what you think, what you speak, what you manifest. So a man thinketh, so is he. Because when you begin to think upon a certain type of thing, that's the certain type of thing that you're going to begin to attract. So it's all about what we think. And so those steps to help you change your mindset, be careful. You know, you have to practice that mindset shift. So I hope you wrote that down. You have to make sure that you begin to be careful what you feed into your mind. That's the second thing. Make sure you write that down, right? These are tips. You're walking away with some strategies. And then that third thing to create that mindset shift, you have to begin to think it, attract it, create it, and then it shall manifest, right? So it's all a process. It's all a process. So be careful about what you're thinking. Because what you thinking is where you are today. What we think is why we're here where we are. I thought about having a women's group. I thought about empowering women before I started doing that. I just wake up one day and I just started empowering women. It all started with a thought. It all started with a desire. And then I began to attract that thing that became in my inner circle. I begin to see the possibilities of it, and then I begin to create it, and then God began to manifest it in my life. So be careful what you're thinking. Be careful what you're thinking. Okay, so and we talked about the mindset shift. So as we begin to go over the mindset shift, now I want to go into some action steps, some proven action steps that I want you to walk away with at the end of this webinar, right? So I'm going to give you 7 strategies that you can walk away with right now to begin to walk in that life assignment. So when you think about your life assignment, this is your assignment that God has you for you, right? This is the assignment that God has created for your life. You are on this earth for a purpose and for a reason. You were not put here by accident or by mistake. He divinely called you to a thing, and you and only you know what that thing is that he's called you to. And so when you know what he's called you to, it's up to you to decide, are you going to walk in it? It's up to you to decide, are you going to live out the life that he has designed for you, the life that you have desired for yourself? Because so many of us have so many desires, and we're so afraid to walk in those giftings because of what others may think and so forth. And so fear of success, fear of failure, all of those things. I've experienced every last one of those things, right? But what I want you to walk away with today, proven tips and strategies that I use that help me move forward. And I want this to help you move forward, okay? So number one, know that your assignment is so much bigger than you. I hope you're taking notes. This is the first one for your assignment. Know that your assignment is so much bigger than you. When we realize that our assignment is not about us, but it's about service to others, this is when we begin to see the real blessing. When we try to make our assignment about us, for us to get the glory, for us to get the accolades, for us to make the $1 million, we have lost our focus. But when we know that our desire is about others, and we know that our desire is so much bigger than us, we will begin to attract all of the money and the accolades. All that stuff will come, right? But we have to know that our assignment is so much bigger than us. Right? Our assignment is to serve others. I can guarantee you 95% of the time, people who God has given an assignment, it wasn't for them. It was to serve others, for you to work with girls, for you to work with women, for you to feed the homeless, for you to help the needy, for you to play music and write books to uplift women, for you to open up a subway to employ the people in the community. Come on now, Margie, I just gave you something right there. Come on now. Our assignment is so much bigger than us. And when you recognize that thing, you will begin to go to limitless possibilities, because it's not about you. Yes, Margie. Make sure you all connect with Margie. She's the owner of a franchise Subway. This woman started with $50 in a dream, and she has her own Subway franchise, and she's doing it big. She's depositing into her community. Come on, a Black sister with her own Subway franchise. Come on, that's my sister right there. But again, we have to know that when it's not about us, the possibilities are endless. So let me just say this to you. Some things happened over the weekend in my life that threw me all out the ballpark, had me all discombobulated. And I wanted to cancel this webinar. Guess what? I had the email ready, webinar canceled. I ain't doing it. But let me tell you, after I told my husband, I said, you know what? I'm going to cancel this webinar. It's not even going to, I'm not even in the space to do it. And so as I was getting dressed today, I was getting ready to go see my patient, and I'm getting dressed, and I'm sitting on the side of the bed getting dressed. And as I'm getting dressed, I'm sitting on the side of the bed, and I'm saying to myself, Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this webinar today. I know that this webinar is already. I've been advertising it for a month. I got 70 people registered. I'm just gonna cancel it. I'll do it another day next week or something. I got too much going on in my life right now. And as soon as that's what I'm thinking, right? I'm saying this to myself, and then I could hear God's sweet voice say, "This is not about you, Priscilla." I could hear God's voice say to me in such a sweet, just such a sweet, his just sweet voice. He ain't loud. He ain't loud like I am sometimes. I could just hear his sweet voice saying, "It's not about you. It's not about you. It's somebody waiting to hear what you have to speak about tonight, walking in my assignment." And so if I didn't do this webinar, somebody may have needed this tonight and they couldn't get it because I'm being selfish in my own space, saying I ain't feeling it today. Oh my God, I'm getting excited. I'm getting excited because I know where I once was. I'm like, I ain't doing no webinar. I got stuff going on in my life and I ain't doing it. But God said, it's not about you. I have a greater purpose for you. Just be obedient, my child. And so guess what? What I'm trying to tell you today is that when your assignment, when you know your assignment isn't about you, hey, I didn't want to have this thing. I wanted to cancel it and have another day. And God said, no, do what I asked you to do. You have an assignment on your life, and the assignment ain't about you. So when I am depositing into other people, whatever assignment that God has on your life, it's your duty to show up and operate in that gifting. It's your duty to show up and use your gifts and your callings and everything that he has for you. It's your duty to do what it is that he's called you to do. And so I am here to tell you, I'm a mouthpiece to tell you that your assignment is so much bigger than you. Because if it was just about Priscilla, I would have been chilling tonight, getting ready to watch the new edition movie, right? But guess what? He said, no, not so. Not so. Not so. You need to connect some folks tonight. Prayers being answered. Margie, you are a woman at the place I'm in my way to, if God says the same. Come on, Lakeisha. Wow. God is doing a new thing. He's doing a new thing. So that's number one. Okay, let's get through this because we don't want to be here all night. And I don't want to hold y'all all night. I do want to keep y'all to the end. Number two, the bigger the assignment on your life, the more you will endure. That's number two. Write that thing down. The assignment is on your life, the more you will endure. Do you know when God has a big, heavy assignment for you? When he has a big assignment for you, some big obstacles gonna come your way too. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy. When he has greatness and gifts inside of you, and he has big things for you to do, it's not gonna be easy. It's gonna be life obstacles. It's gonna be some things that's gonna come in your way. It's gonna be some things that try to tell you to cancel it out, throw in the towel, you done. I ain't doing this no more. But when you have an assignment by God, and the bigger the assignment, the bigger the obstacles gonna come in your life, the bigger the ridicule, the bigger the talk and the backbiting and all that stuff, because your assignment is purpose, and it's a big one. It's a big one. You see, the greatest people have went through some of the worst things. You see some of the people that we look at today in admiration, like a Michelle Obama. I love Michelle Obama. I'm a big Michelle Obama fan, but Michelle went through some things as the first lady of the White House. She went through some things to get to Princeton. She went through some things to be the CEO and executive at University of Chicago hospitals. She endured some things, but there's a big assignment on her life. And I'm sure her assignment is not even over for what more God has for her. So begin to look at the obstacles that you face right now in your life. It's part of the assignment. And know that even though you're going through these things, you must know that there's a big breakthrough and a big assignment on your life that you're going to carry out that's going to reach so many people. It's going to reach so many people. You're going to change so many lives. And so when you are going through whatever it is you're going through, if whatever it is that you are enduring at this very second, it's a part of the assignment. And so know that your assignment is so big that you have to go through that pressure. Because when you go through that pressure and you go through that pressure, you're going to come out real strong. You're going to come out a different person. Your real character comes through when pressure on your life. When you're going through some things, that real you going to stand up. Either you're going to sink or you're going to swim. Either you're going to endure or you're going to give up. But you know this, is that when that pressure's on your life, God has a big plan on your life too. He ain't putting you through all of these things for nothing. He's putting you through these things so you could come out as pure gold and you can shine. You can shine bright like a diamond. I hope you won't hear Caprice. As Caprice would say all the time, everybody want to be a diamond, but nobody want to get cut. A diamond has to be cut a certain type of way. Being cut hurt. Being cut don't feel good. Being cut is something that people being cut, that don't feel good. Who want to be cut? But baby, the ones that's being cut on is the ones that shining so bright. The ones that God is getting all the glory from, that gleam so bright. So know that the bigger the assignment of your life, the bigger the obstacles will be too. Number 3, give yourself permission to walk boldly in the assignment. And I talked about this a little bit when I talked about the mind shift. Sometimes we just don't give ourselves permission to walk in the thing. You got to get over yourself. You got to get over the people that may not believe in you. You've got to get over the people that may say, what do you think you're doing? You got to get over the people that may never support you. You got to get over the people that may talk about you, backbite you, whatever the case is. But you have to know that you got to give yourself permission. When you give yourself permission to walk in your assignment, you give everybody else permission alongside of you to do the same. But when you keep yourself limited, and you have a limited mindset, you allow everybody around you to do the same too. So it's up to you to know that you have to give yourself permission to walk in this thing. You have to give yourself permission to own it. You got to give yourself permission to know that God gave it to you and not them, and to walk boldly in it. And don't worry about who says what, support or whatever. You have to know that he's given it to you and that you are ready to walk forward and do that thing. So give yourself permission. When you begin to give yourself permission, everything will begin to line up for you. Again, you'll begin to attract it. You'll begin to manifest it, create it, because you gave yourself the permission to walk in it. To walk in it. I want to walk in my God-given assignment that he has for me. And I used to let all of these fears and doubts and insecurities and what my family gonna say and what this person gonna say and all of that. And it really, sometimes all that's in our own head. Ain't nobody thinking about you. Ain't nobody thinking about what we doing. But sometimes that fear, that self-talk wants to keep you going and keep you like, man, okay, can I really do this? Well, that's your own fear, your own insecurities that's speaking out, making you think somebody against you or what have you. The reality is, give yourself permission. And once you give yourself permission, you will walk boldly in that thing. You will not let anything stop you, because you know that you are called to this thing. And then number 4, no, you cannot carry out your assignment alone. It takes sometimes a tribe to help you carry out that assignment. It takes a community. It takes sisterhood. It takes a coach. It takes a mentor. It takes an advisor. It takes some people to help us carry out our gifts. If we think we can do this thing alone, we sadly mistaken. I say it all the time. We cannot do what it is God called us to do all by our lonesome self. Sometimes we need some help. Sometimes we try to carry all of this weight by ourselves when he didn't mean for you to do it all alone. Sometimes we need to have somebody join aside us, or we join next to someone to help them. Sometimes we don't have to recreate the wheel. Maybe we want to work with girls. Who's to say that he said start your own organization? I don't know. But maybe you need to join with somebody who's already created that thing. So know that you can't do this work alone. And the an assignment that he has on your life is big. And so knowing that it's big is going to take people, it's going to take other people to help pray for you. It's going to take people to help lift you up, encourage you, motivate you. Some that's going to jump in there and do the work with you. It's going to take others to help you carry out the assignment God has for you. Let me know if you're with me. Type in the chat box if you have a comment, question. Remember, this is interactive. Let me know if you're getting anything. Give me some heart stars, whatever. Those are you on YouTube. Type in the chat box. Hey, make sure that you are with me. Okay, number 5. We're number 5. So number 1 is know that your assignment is bigger than you. Number 2, the bigger your assignment, the bigger the obstacles. Number 3, give yourself permission to walk into assignment. And number 4, know that you cannot carry your assignment alone. Now, number 5, carry out your assignment in the spirit of excellence. And this is very important. When God gives you an assignment, you want to operate in the spirit of excellence. You don't want to treat the assignment any kind of way. You don't want to, treat it like, oh yeah, okay, it don't really mean nothing. Because when God gives you assignment, it's all a test. It's like when you're in school, when the teacher gives you a test, she's testing you to see how much have you learned in her class. Not just be giving you a test to say, I just feel like giving these kids a test. She's giving you a test because she wants to know, what have you learned? Have you mastered the craft? And so God gives us an assignment because he wants to see if we can carry it out, what he's assigned us to do. And so know that you have to stay committed to this thing. You have to endure it. You have to keep going. And so you have to operate in the spirit of excellence. Don't treat it any kind of way. If you a speaker, show up on time when you're speaking at somebody's event. If you, whatever it is, like, treat it with the spirit of excellence. Treat it with the best of your ability. Treat it, whatever it is that you're doing, do it to the best that you know how to do it. Right? So no, you want to operate in the spirit of excellence, a spirit of excellence. You want him to be glorified through it. And so if we treat it any kind of way, how can he really get the glory? If sometimes we're in it, sometimes we're not, sometimes I want to do it, sometimes I don't, he can't get the glory from that. So know that you want to carry it out in excellence. Number 6, it takes a real leader to carry out the assignment. It takes a real leader to carry out the assignment. When you have the leadership in you, and you have the tenacity and the drive, and you have the go-get, and you have everything in you that's pushing you to do this assignment, it takes a real leader. It doesn't take, you can't be faint at heart. It takes somebody who's strong. It takes someone who's not going to give up so easy. It takes people who get told no 100 times and they keep on going even after they got told no. Right? So you have to know that you not only want to carry it in the spirit of excellence, but you got to be a leader. And so being a leader, you're being patient. You're helping others. You're being innovative. You're being you're studying your craft. You're operating in excellence. You're doing whatever it is you need to do to represent those leadership skills in order to carry out that assignment. Because when you are a leader, you're not just a leader to lead over others, but you are a leader to create other leaders to walk along beside you, and to do what it is that they are called to do. And so real leadership leads by example and not just with a title or with talk. So we can have plenty of people with titles. We can have plenty of people that could have the gift of gab and can talk good. But when you're a real leader, you want to empower others to be leaders as well. You want to empower others to go farther than you can go. You want to empower others to see the brilliance and to see the potential that they have. And so that is what we need in order to carry out our assignment. Because in our assignment, we're leaving a legacy. And so when we're gone, when we're long gone from this earth, we want other people to be able to carry on that legacy, people to carry on the work that we've done. And so leadership is about teaching other leaders. It's about helping other leaders get to the next level, okay? So keep that in mind when you are thinking about carrying out your assignment. And then number 7, the last one, don't leave this earth. Don't leave this earth without finishing your assignment. Don't leave this earth without finishing your assignment. As I quote all the time, Dr. Miles Monroe, and I love him. Him and his wife has gone on, Ruth Monroe and Dr. Miles Monroe, really well-known minister in the state of in Bahamas, and travel all over the world, and books and speaker and speaker. And he just was an amazing man. And one thing that he says all the time that I use a lot, and that is, I want to exhaust everything that was in me before I leave this earth. I want to play full out everything that God has in me. I want to die empty. And he says this because he used this a lot, because he knows that every one of us have a ticket. We're going to have to check out of here one day, right? But before God takes me from this earth, I want to have exhausted everything that he has in me, every gift that he has in me, every plan that he had for my life, every person I was assigned to, every person I was supposed to touch and reach and talk to and pray for. I want to be used by God with everything that he has in me, play full out, and not leave with anything lacking, not leave with anything lacking. When I leave this earth, I don't want to have had a book that I never did right. When I leave this earth, I don't want to have left this earth and never talked to the person I was supposed to talk to or pray for. When I leave this earth, I don't want to never have traveled across the country as I desire. So we have to know that when we leave this earth, we want to die empty. Everything we see right now, life is too short. I just stated at the beginning of this webinar that we have people we talk to one minute, you look around, the people are gone. And so it's by the grace of God that we still here. But why do you think we still here? Why do you think we are still here? We're still here because we haven't finished our assignment. We're still here because he still have a great plan for us. We're still here in the land of the living because he has something big for us to do. And so when you know that, we got to keep going, keep working, keep moving until we exhaust everything in us, until we exhaust everything he has for us, and we pour it out to the earth. We are supposed to be salt to the earth. And when the earth loses flavor, we are the salt that adds back to that earth, that brings light and joy and peace God has for us. So we have to know that we have to use everything. Do you know the grave is the most is the place with every vision, every book in the people's grave? They have talks, they have seminars, they have radio shows that they did not carry out. And I don't want to ever get to a point where I am somewhere laid up and my gifts are looking at me saying, you didn't use me. Use me. Come on now. We don't want to get to a point where we are not using our gifts. We don't want to be on our deathbed or looking down on our life and saying, my gifts I screaming out that I didn't use them. Come on. Hey, Lakeisha, we want to be able to use everything God has for us. Do we think we on this earth just to be living and just to, oh, I like to go out with my friends and I like to do this and yes, having fun is good. Yes, going out with your girlfriends is good. But at the end of the day, as I stated, my girlfriend always say, my girlfriend Peggy says, let the main thing be the main thing. Let the main thing be the main thing. And so when we know that the main thing is going after our gifts, our assignment, our calling, our everything that God has for us. And when we focus on that, I guarantee you everything else will line up. I guarantee you the money will line up. I guarantee you the opportunity will line up. I guarantee you the connections will line up. I guarantee you the career will line up. I guarantee you everything you desire will begin to shift and line up because you are walking in that thing, because you are focusing on the main thing, and the main thing is God. The main thing is what he's called you to do. And so I know that my ministry is to empower women, not only with the word of God, but with tips and strategies that we can use every day to help us live out our gifts. It took me a while to accept that because I'm like, I don't want to sound too churchy. I ain't no pastor or no evangelist, and I don't want nobody looking at me crazy like, okay, well, what's she doing? But when I got over that thing and said, okay, Lord, this is my assignment, and I will do myself and the world a disservice if I don't walk in that thing. And so this is what we have to begin to know. When we walk in that thing, Everything will line up for us. It says, seek ye the first kingdom of God and his righteousness, and everything else will begin to do what? Line up, right? Seek the first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all those other things will be added unto you. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about all of that. God will begin to manifest that. Now, we do have to be wise. You know, I ain't gonna never tell nobody to I'm not gonna tell nobody, you know, you just go do everything for free, or you go quit your job and you ain't got no money and you just gonna, you know, let's be wise. God gave us wisdom. So make sure that it is God that's showing us which direction to go. Because wisdom that if a man don't have no money, he can't eat. Right? So and God is not a broke God, a God that's lacking, a God that doesn't have enough. God has more than enough. He has overflow, abundance, excess. He has everything we need. So we know we have to walk in wisdom. Focus on that main thing, walking in that wisdom and focusing on his plan for our lives. Everything will begin to line up. Everything will begin to line up. So it's 7:57. Hey, I'm on time. If you just logged on, this is my webinar, New Year, New Start 2017, living the life that God truly has desired for you, for moving in your assignment in this new year. I'm going to go over the 7 strategies and tools that I just gave you. I hope you took notes. Number 1, knowing that the assignment is bigger than you. Number 2, the bigger the assignment, the bigger the obstacles. Number 3, give yourself permission to walk in the assignment. Number 4, know you cannot carry out your assignment alone. Number 5, carry out your assignment in the spirit of excellence. Number 6, it takes real leadership to carry out your assignment. And number 7, don't leave this earth without finishing your assignment. Don't leave this earth without finishing your assignment. So if you are in this group, Rock Your Royal Life, that says to me that you are a woman that's ready to walk in her divine royal calling, that you are ready to rock your royal life, that you are God's daughter, that he is the King of Kings. And so why are we worried about anything when our Father is the King? You are his princess, you his queen, you are everything to him. He loves you, he knows your deepest desires, he knows what you want, he knows everything about you, he knows the strand of hair on your head. And so when we know and we walk in confidence, and we know that God is the one that sees all, that knows all, that has a plan for our life, we won't worry about these worldly things, because these things will come and go. They will come as fast as we make 6 figures, as quick as we can lose it. As fast as we have $1 million house, as quick as we can be without any home. We know that things come and go. But when we know who we are, whose we are, who we belong to, who we are, his royal daughters, his queens, his called out, his love. You know, when we know that, man, we got it made. We got it made. Because I guarantee you, there's so many things that we all experience on a daily basis. This is just the beginning of 2017. And I'm going to tell you, 2017 been a kicker for me already, and my family and things going on. But I know that I am God's daughter. And because I know that he's going to take care of my family. I know he's going to cover us. I know that he's going to protect us. I know that we won't have to worry about anything, even though that insecurity and that worry comes up. I ain't gonna lie, it comes up. And if you think the worry and fear, you ain't gonna feel it sometime, that's a lie. Sometimes that fear and that worry come up. But when it does come up, the peace of God can come over me. I can have someone speak to me and say, Priscilla, you got this. Or I can read something or watch something on TV, and it's a reminder to me of why you worry. And so even when that worry come in, I begin to just ask God to help me suppress that fear, that worry, that doubt, that insecurity and uncertainty. Right? When I begin to feel that, I know that God, he's getting ready to do something. And I know, and I want to encourage you today to trust him. Trust him. Trust him. Don't leave this earth without filling your assignment. Don't leave this earth without walking in your God-given assignment. Don't do it. Don't do it. Right? So I have a blueprint that everyone that signed up for this webinar, they should receive it in their email tonight at 9 p.m. You will receive the 2017 Life Assignment Blueprint. It gives you 7 steps. Some of the 7 I just named, but others. And so I want you to use that blueprint to help you get started, to help you begin to jumpstart your life assignment for 2017. Don't wait until you think it's the right time, because we'll always wait and it'll never be a right time. We will wait for the right time and it's never a right time. But when we know that God's calling and gift has gifts and calling on our life, we know that we have to move in that thing. We have to move swiftly, because I just stated life is too short. I'm a registered nurse. I see people one minute, the next minute they gone. But I know that life it's so uncertain. But God is certain. God is certain. And so we have to trust his plan and his assignment on our life. And his assignment is that we serve others, that we give to others, that we love others, that the main thing be the main thing, that we do what it is he called us to do, and that we do it in excellence and not doubt and fear and worry. And so I am going to end here. It's 8 o'clock. I want to thank you for joining me. Those that joined me on YouTube for the Google Hangout webinar. Those that join me in my private Facebook group, thank you for joining me. For those of you that's on YouTube, make sure you join the Rock Your Royal Life private Facebook group. And in the month of March, I'm going to do VIP, group VIP day. And so a group VIP day is pretty much where you have a group of women. It's only going to be a spot for 5. And this is where we get women. We're at a round table, nice restaurant, and we begin to just share and go through working out this life assignment for 2017. So this is a one-day thing. And I hope for those women that are serious, I know that some women have already requested that they want to go further with me. And so if you are one of those women, the price is $199. In your email box, those of you that signed up for this webinar, you'll get information shortly in your email box about the Rock Your Royal Life group VIP day. And so, like I said, it is for women that's serious, who spend a half day going over, putting the steps and strategies together for mapping out your life assignment for 2017 and really having some things in place, doing some work, not just sitting there getting encouraged and motivated and you still haven't done the work. But we're going to actually put some work in place, and you're going to walk away with some things already in place to help you move forward for 2017. So if that woman is you, go ahead and send me an inbox and say, hey, that's me. I want to do it. It's $199. I'm only taking 5 women. Strategic in knowing that the women that I work with are serious and that they are ready to move forward for 2017, right? So if that woman is you, send me an inbox. Just let me know that you're in. I'll make sure that you get all of the details. It's at a private location. It's going to be very nice. For those of you that's been to my events, you know that my events are royal. It's not no junk. So you're gonna have some good food, some good strategies and tips you're gonna walk away with, and you're gonna meet and connect with some other fearless and powerful women. So I do know that. So if that is you, send me an inbox and let me know you're interested. So I'm gonna go ahead and end here tonight. I want to thank you for joining my webinar, my first webinar for 2017, New Year, New Start. This is recorded. Well, of course, it's recorded for the women in the private group. For those of you on YouTube, it will remain on my YouTube channel. So you can definitely go back and listen to it at any time, share it or what have you. And I thank you for joining me. Again, you can connect with me at PriscillaQWilliams.com. You can also send me an email at info@PriscillaQWilliams.com. I hope you were able to get something tonight. And again, join me for my live VIP day, which is going to happen in the next couple of weeks. So I'm only taking 5 women. If you're serious, it's not something that I'm going to advertise on Facebook because I'm very strategic this year for 2017 about working with women that are serious and ready to do this thing, right? So you're not going to see an advertisement on Facebook. It's a private VIP, like I said, group VIP day, great food, a great location, 5-star. If you're ready, and you're ready to map out, the main thing is mapping out your life assignment for 2017. If you're ready and you know what God called you to do, yes, Margie, you need to come here to Chicago, or I need to come down there to Atlanta. So make sure you send me an inbox if you're ready to do this. Okay. Have a great night, ladies. I love you. Don't forget to inbox me if you're one of the five. All right. Have a good night, ladies. Talk to you soon.